You are listening to an interview with clinical hypnotherapist Dr. Steve G. Jones. For a free hypnosis download, please visit stevegjones.com.
Hi, Dr. Steve G. Jones here, riding in Los Angeles traffic today with Jason Augustus Newcomb. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing good. Enjoyed our low-carb McDonald's.
We just had McDonald's food. We had grilled chicken, protein style, wrapped in lettuce. So some people are still saying, you shouldn't eat that anyway. But hey, when you're on the road and you don't have a bunch of healthy snacks with you or anything besides water, that's what you do. So at least it was protein style. So that's good. Yeah.
No fries, no
That's
sodas.
right. Yeah, just water and lettuce and
meat.
and that, yes.
At least we hope it was meat.
We're going to keep hope alive here. Hope it was. So today, we have been driving for a while. Jason's driving. I'm holding my iPhone and recording this. And we've been talking about website development. And in part one of this podcast, which you didn't miss much if you didn't hear it. It was only about 10 minutes long. And we also got sidetracked quite a bit.
It was amazing.
It was absolutely amazing. But we're talking... basically, I'm answering Jason's questions about website development because Jason Augustus Newcomb, available at jasonaugustusnewcomb.com, has a lot of programs in the occult genre. And Jason and I have been friends since the year 2000.
I would say more metaphysical. I mean, occult and metaphysical are basically the same thing. But I think some of your listeners might be disturbed by occult.
I'm very disturbed by it.
And so, I mean, they're kind of synonyms in a lot of ways. But just if you hear Steve say occult or Satan or anything like that, just turn it into self-help and metaphysical in your mind.
So what you're saying is it's satanic occult stuff.
No, not at all.
You're trying to cover it up now. Well, the only way to resolve this is to go to jasonaugustusnewcomb.com and find out. But
and place an order while you're there.
Yes. So Jason has got a website. By the time you're listening to this, you who are listening to this, it may be completely spruced up. But right now, it needs a little help, and Jason needs some marketing help, and he has some questions. And so that's what we're doing here today. We're in a car, we're in a convertible. We've got the top up, it's not down, but we're still a convertible, so it's not as airtight as normal. And we've got the air on since it's a little warm outside. So we've got a lot of background noise. But if you can bear with all that, I think you'll get some good gems from our conversation. So Jason,
I'm also driving in kind of stop and go traffic, so I may seem a little spacier than usual because it's kind of a lot of things to.
It adds to the occult Satan thing.
New Age self-help metaphysical? Is that
that's what I meant to say. Is that the code word?
No, conscious living. That's it. I have a lot of conscious living titles.
There you go. No, we're talking about marketing and how to, if you've got something good and you're either scaring people away from it with strange titles or you're confusing them with strange titles, meaning strange to them, then that doesn't help you or them. So that's one of the things that we have talked about.
I mean, it's definitely a tough thing because I have a lot of branded material because I've published a lot of books that have titles that are that sort of strange jargon that is hard to understand.
Why don't you mention a few of those just for plugging you and for telling us what you're talking about?
Well, The New Hermetics is probably my best-selling book.
Does anyone know what that is?
And we've actually created a podcast and we tried to talk about it. We got distracted a few times, but
Jason's driving us.
I think we've kind of defined what Hermetics is at this point.
It was occult Satanism, as I recall. No, it's conscious living.
It's conscious living.
Yes.
No, actually, the simplest definition of it is mind science that is designed to bring you in closer contact with your own universal mind.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I like that. Just check and make sure we're still recording.
We're actually recording. Another title is called 21st Century Mage, which I'm not even going to bother trying to... I mean, a mage is a magician of the, sort of Sorcerer's Apprentice, Mickey Mouse variety.
I was in that play when I was a kid. I was the sorcerer.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, you played the part of a mage.
Oh.
Yeah, but That's not a word most people use. I didn't choose that particular title. That was chosen by my publisher. But and then I wrote a book called Sexual Sorcery, which I think is probably my best title, although my least selling book. And
really? You would think that with a title like that, people would sell really well.
Fly off the shelf.
There's a whole market for guys who want to get together with women,
have sex. And in fact, that book contains, I think, succinctly, in one section, it contains the best advice you could possibly ever have as a man trying to meet a woman. It's got, I went out and I interviewed, I think, 30 or 40 women, got their input, and wrote it. It's 3 pages of the book or less, but it's valuable stuff. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. My other book's called The Book of Magic Power. Now that's a book people can understand what that means, and it actually sells really well. So
yeah, okay. Well, there you go. There's a living proof that when you name something appropriately, meaning to appeal to a large audience, then you're gonna have success. But then again, there's an argument to be made for a niche market. Is that the way you pronounce that?
Yeah, niche. Yeah.
A niche market. So people see the word mage, and most people don't know, but whoever is into that stuff says, I know what a mage is. I've been looking for a book on it.
Well, if you're looking for a book on being a 21st century mage, I've literally written the book on that subject.
You wrote the book on it. Well, good. And then let's bring this back to websites. So we've talked a little bit about branding, marketing, titling, and so forth.
My question was that I wanted to talk to you about is sort of the geography, for want of a better word, or real estate of the website. They're all different, and I know you've done some research into yours. So I don't know if you want to share the complete details on that, but what is it that made you just to make the decisions that you've made on your website, and how can you help other people like myself design a better one?
Well, you've got to A/B split test everything. I mean, if you're wondering, what's better, let's say it's a site for women to have painless childbirth. I was actually involved in a project like that where I flew up to Canada and worked with a doctor, and we created a program for helping women have painless childbirth. She's an OBGYN. She delivers babies for a living as a doctor. And a site like that, let's say you're thinking, well, should we do it pink or purple? I don't know, both seem like they might appeal to women. So in that kind of case, we didn't do this back then because that was back before I knew any of this, but in an instance like that, what you would do with the modern knowledge is split test. You do an A/B split test. You get a simple program that sends half of your traffic to the pink version and half of your traffic to the purple version, and you just look and see which one converts better. Now,
what is the software that you're talking about? Do you know?
Not offhand. No, because being Dr. Steve G. Jones, I just say, make it so, and it happens. No, it's not quite like that, but I do have a marketing team, so when I want to have something tested, I just have them test it, and whatever current software there is, they do that. But there's a lot of it out there. So just look for reviews of A/B split test software online, and you'll find it.
Is that A/B?
Yeah, A/B, like you're comparing A to B. You want to compare this one to that one. And so once you figure out which one's converting better, and the metric you're looking at, by the way, is whatever action you want them to take. If you want them to opt into your email list, you're seeing which one produces more opt-ins. If you want them to buy something, you're seeing which one produces more purchases. You're not looking at other stuff. I mean, some people may look at, well, which one causes them to stay on the page long enough. Well, if your goal in your website is to make people stay on your page a long time, then I don't really have any help for you there, because I think most people are attempting to get their product sold. They want people to buy, they want people to opt into their email list so they can then tell them about their other products and programs. They want people to buy something which is going to help them. So they want to get the help to the end user and make some money and support their family while they're doing it.
Yeah.
So those are measurable outcomes. You can see who
buys something
from the pink page, who buys something from the purple page. Yeah. And then once you have that, that's just one thing. Then you want to split test the font. Then you want to split test pictures.
This split test software, is that people who are you're basically sending a direct mail marketing to someone and the software operates on that click through, or is it effective?
You have your web designer. Well, you're a do-it-yourself guy, so I have when I want to do a split test, I tell my web designer what the test is, and she sets it up, and then I send the traffic to it from one of my email lists.
So it's from an email list?
Yeah, you have to send them from your list. So you should have, we talked about list building in a different, did we talk about list building?
No, we haven't.
We'll talk about list building too. Well, we did it in the sense that anytime you give away something, you want to get their email address. So that's how you build a list. You give freebies away. You build an email list. So then you build up large email lists, and you have a few of them. And then you send, let's say, you have a list of a few thousand people, and you send them to that A/B split test, and you see who does what. You have this new website, you want to send them to it, and you want to get some split test results. And so that's the way you do it. And it's just constant split testing. We are always split testing something. In fact, we have probably 5 split tests going on at any given time. Those are just the ones that I know about, plus the marketing team does a bunch more when we have launches.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's constant looking at numbers, it's constant testing, it's constant tweaking, it's constant updating. It just never ends. That's why we have so many full-time people, because there are just all these jobs to do all the time that have to be kept up with.
I mean, certainly what you're talking about, that level of work is not possible at a DIY level. That would be.
Well, you can't. A lot of my friends do it themselves. I'm surprised. They'll run split tests themselves. Once you get these split tests set up, you're just looking at the numbers. And a lot of the split test software will just pick the best one and go with that. Let's say you set up pink versus purple. Purple wins. It'll drop pink and just start sending everyone else to purple after a certain amount of opt-ins, after it wins by a certain amount. So split testing software has become very smart. So you can run a number of split tests at the same time or in sequence, and one person can do that. Now I prefer to be, I don't really, even though I know a lot about marketing, I don't like to work in marketing. I like to work in production. I like to keep my head in the clouds, as I say, thinking about new concepts, new products, new programs I can create that will help people. And I now have that luxury because we do have such a good marketing team. But split testing is something you really could do yourself, because it becomes automated after a certain point. Was that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. I was more talking about you were talking about several balls in the air at once that it wouldn't be possible to do.
Yeah, if you're split testing like a new launch, first of all, you need to have your launch crew together. It takes.
Well, first of all, you need to create a product.
You need to create a product, yeah.
And then you need to have marketing text written for it of various kinds. Maybe you're split testing.
Have the copywriter do that. Yeah.
No. If you're doing it yourself, you have to
doing it yourself. You get you will not have any free time anymore, I imagine. But it will pay off eventually. Well, initially I had to do all this stuff myself. I mean, I spent long years doing all this stuff myself. But before we had split testing, I never did split testing by myself because I wasn't aware of it. There are certain things you don't become aware of until later on.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of it until like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, all right.
I mean, you mentioned it actually earlier, and I was like, I don't know, some kind of
split
crazy
testing
internet jargon he's using.
Talking mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, some kind of occult stuff that Steve's into.
That's right.
Maybe
satanic. Yes. Maybe it's what? Bloodletting?
Yeah, it's a satanic AB.
Satanic AB.
Sounds like blood.
AB type. Yeah, it's blood type. You're right. So split testing is essential, because if you just put up a website and say, I hope this does well, it will do well if you split test it. If you hone it down to what people actually respond to, then you're going to have a high converting site, and it's going to stay that way for a while until technology changes or until what you're doing goes out of fashion. But some things stay in fashion for years and years and years. So you do a little split testing, get it dialed in, get it working right, and then just let it roll.
Well, you're basically operating under the assumption that you have a list that has more than, say, 20,000 people on it, right? I mean,
Yeah, you've got to have a good.
So if you have a list that's got, like, say, 200 people on it, you're not going to be able to do really much.
Yeah, that's not really a list. Yeah, that's. Yeah,
okay, let's say you've got a list that's got even 6,000 people on it.
That's good enough.
Yeah,
no, that's fine. Yeah, and you can take segments of the list. You can send it out to. Let's say you want to do 3 different split tests. You can send it out to 2,000 for this one, 2,000 for that one, 2,000 for the other one. That should be significant. You want to have hopefully a couple hundred people responding. So if you send out to 2,000 people, hopefully you'll get 200 people actually responding.
Now, for split testing, are you specifically referring to the image of the design, or do you also do split testing for things that you say as well?
Every little thing. Sometimes we split test individual words. We'll put a word in. We split test colors of fonts. We split test size of font. We split test font style.
And do you really think the binary 50-50 choice is the best system for coming up with quality at that point, or?
Do you have another option?
I mean, I guess you'd have more than one.
Like a three-way split test? Yeah, you can do that. If there are a few different colors you want to test, you can absolutely do that. Yep, that's fine. And sometimes we will do that. Sometimes we'll have a few parameters. But it's usually called an A/B split test because you're comparing two things. Yeah, but these split tests you can have I don't know what the limit is, but there may not even be a limit. But if you have only a couple thousand people you're sending to, then realize that you're really watering down
the number,
your results. Yeah, because you're not gonna. It's gonna be hard to see a majority at that point. So you want something to stand out, like head and shoulders above the rest.
I don't know how big your email list is, but let's say it's 20,000 people. When you send out a split test to your full list, so you're getting 10,000 are getting one thing and 10,000 are getting another. How many people are even responding to that at all?
I'm usually not the one these days analyzing the results, so I just kind of get them, and I don't always even analyze them at this point. I remove myself as much as possible as the years go on, so I train people to do this stuff. But I'm going to guess that it's around. Let me think. We had one recently that actually did look at the results of. It's around 1% response rate.
Right. I mean, I think that's pretty typical in most marketing. That's what 1 to 5% are the amount that are like actually acting on any kind of thing.
Yeah, it depends.
But in that case, you're really looking at. I mean, although it's 1% of 20,000 is a significant number of people, you're really looking at a fairly small percentage difference then between the things, right?
You mean numerical difference? Yeah. Now, we don't even send out the whole list. We would never do a split test to the entire list. We do split tests to list segments. So it would be somewhere around... now, our actual list is with the corporation I work with is much larger than that, actually. But we do small segments. We do maybe 2,000 or so. And... that could produce enough results. You don't want to split test with your whole list, because all you're really doing is trying to find out what's best, and if everyone's already seen it, then who are you going to sell it to after the split test? Found out this works, but everyone's already seen it.
And half of them didn't like it. So.
Exactly, yeah. Sometimes you can just have a split test running without emailing at all. You just have it on your website if you've got a decent amount of traffic. Then which you can generate by putting videos on YouTube, and hey, at the end of it you say, go to my website for a free whatever, then you have your split test running on your website.
And how do you do that? Just a link, a fake link that does a split test right on YouTube? Is that what you're talking about? Or?
Again, I don't set these up, but I believe you just send them to the regular website, and the split test software integrates into your index page and will display one of two options.
Gotcha.
I believe that's the way it's done. And also, don't even take that word for it, because this stuff is changing all the time.
Right.
So you need to
probably be different.
look up. Yep.
6 months from now. Do you find that you get a lot of hits on YouTube with videos that you put up?
It depends on the video.
What about like endless podcasts of two guys in their 40s talking?
Nobody's going to listen to that. If you're still listening, then you're in a rare group.
Please call us right away. We have some stuff to sell you that's very important for you to have right now.
Yes, right now. No, I think it really depends. Something like this is engaging because we're two guys having fun. We get a lot of stuff to say. Sometimes I'll put just an interview I do. Somebody will ask about hypnosis. They'll just ask standard questions that everyone asks.
Right.
And, if anyone's...
Are people asleep when they're hypnotized?
Yeah.
Does anyone ever not come out of hypnosis?
Never come out of it. I'm just kidding. You do come out of it. So, yeah, if people have heard a few of my podcasts and they hear another interview that's the same as all the other ones, and they may not tune in, but if I'm being interviewed by like Joe Vitale or Patty Stanger, the Millionaire Matchmaker, or someone is a big name, that might spike just because of the big name.
Sure.
So,
and do you think it might? Is it possible for there to be an inverted spike where it goes down? That might be.
Yeah, if I put my name on it, it just bottoms out. No, you know what I have noticed in YouTube videos? If you put an attractive female in the video, the views go up. But not for the right reason. They go up because they want to see the attractive female.
Sure.
They're not necessarily interested in whatever the heck you're talking about. Yeah, so they don't necessarily lead to conversions. By conversions on YouTube, I mean the whole purpose of YouTube video.
That's actually really an interesting thing. So you're saying that putting an attractive woman on, while it might generate some views, does not affect your sales generally.
Right, exactly. And that's what I mean by conversions.
Yeah.
Who goes to the website from that.
Well, that's good to know, because I think that's kind of a popular wisdom that you should put a pretty girl in all your videos. So.
I still do it from time to time because I haven't learned, but I do believe that there is some value into that. You get enough views, and YouTube ranks your video a little higher.
Right, and I actually think they rank your whole channel higher.
Yeah, and so that's going to have some results, even if you're not measuring them directly from that.
Right.
Your name's going to get out there more. Something positive is going to happen. So I still do that. And I recommend, if it's a visual thing, why not show people something they want to look at?
Right. Which is why, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're looking at that very attractive picture of Steve and I right now.
Yeah,
that's exactly what you want to see.
We're probably using a still shot of us, or a picture of the LA traffic that Jason's driving in. Maybe I should take a picture of that. That'll be the still shot. We're exiting? Or are you just getting in the slow lane?
I just wanted to slow down.
You just gave up. Slow down. We'll go even slower.
We're not going slow enough for this to seem like we're in stop and go LA traffic.
Yeah, I know. It kind of picked up. Must be between rush hours. We should have gone at like 3 a.m. and there's nobody, just a few drunk drivers on the road.
You are listening to an interview with clinical hypnotherapist Dr. Steve G. Jones. For a free hypnosis download, please visit stevegjones.com.
All right, so anything else that I can answer for you on the topic of website design?
I mean, I guess the question that's still on my mind is, I know you're saying just test it, but is there any kind of information that you could give to someone who's not gonna be doing that anytime soon? Because honestly, with the number of things on my plate, I'm probably amongst those people who's not gonna go out and set up a bunch of AV software right now.
Well, ripping off a website design will get you in trouble. It will get you, not you, Jason, I know you wouldn't do that. It will get you sued. However, if you kind of capture the essence of what someone's doing, you see, okay, they have navigation at the top. They have their email capture above the fold, meaning, above the fold is an expression. I know you know what it means, but yeah, newspapers, you get the newspaper and you read what's above the fold, the crease. I mean, that part's in the back side when you set a newspaper down on the table like I do every morning, and you read what's above the fold. That's what most people, that's going to get the most amount of views.
Eyes on it.
Yeah. Even people who don't buy the paper can see what's above the fold when it's just sitting there in a stack of newspapers for sale. So that's where you want most of the stuff. Before, in a website, on a web page, it means before you have to scroll at all. So you want your email capture above the part where you'd have to scroll. And you also want your navigation up there.
And so with mobile designs now, how does that work, since you're gonna have such tiny real estate?
Well, mobile designs, the way it works is you have a little button that drops down the menu. At the time we're making this recording, it does. It may change over time, who knows, but it'll become 3D holograms eventually, perhaps. But you have a little menu they can hit. They can drop down the menu, and you make sure that your email capture is right there on their phone, so they don't have to scroll on their phone at all, or their iPad.
So you want that email capture immediately?
Yep. That's the main thing that's going on. You've got something free to offer, and if they give you their email address, they can have that free thing.
So you're saying the nugget here for me, are you saying that on my front page I should have my free offer prominently displayed right on that front page?
Yeah, it should be on every page, but most prominently on your front page.
Okay, I think I can probably get it on every page, but yeah.
You don't need it as in your face as on the front page. Like, it doesn't need to come up at the above the fold on. Jason, did you miss an exit?
No, my phone's getting on low battery and I couldn't see the thing. I'm doing the wrong thing now.
Good thing this isn't video, I'll just say that.
Right.
doing some things that...
No.
No, Jason's not swerving that much. He was on the off-ramp to get off, and then he came back on the road. But, the median thing he drove through wasn't really...
I had to put down my bottle of Jack in order to...
That's your third bottle, Jason. I think
I'm going to slow down.
Yeah. Good Lord. Gotta save some room for the next bottle. Whoa! That was actually scary.
It is scary, and I'm not sure if I'm even supposed to be on here. Can you look at this and tell me
Yes.
if I'm doing the wrong thing?
We're gonna leave this on live, so it looks like you just keep going down the road you're on.
But I mean, am I staying on 5 or am I?
Okay, it looks like you might be getting on. No, 5 goes that way.
Yeah. Do I want to stay?
I do not think you exit here, but I don't know. Sandberg, I would just
stay or go, or should I get over?
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
It's like it totally doesn't show what needs to happen. I'm just gonna do this and hopefully.
Yeah, just do that because it's the least
path,
accident prone.
Yeah, exactly.
But it does
appear that we're doing the wrong thing.
It'll tell us in a minute. Oh, now it put us on that road. So we did do the wrong thing.
Okay, I thought we were doing the wrong thing.
But it looks like now it made it into the right thing, and it's going to take us that way. So we're fine.
How many more hours did we add to our trip?
Looks like a big loop we have to do now.
Okay, well that's great. And more time for podcasting.
Yes, more time for you, the listener,
to listen to us almost getting into accidents.
Yeah, it's exciting. Maybe you need more Jack. Maybe that's
so.
just for the record, though. Jason's not drinking alcohol.
There's no alcohol,
and
in
he
this car.
should not drink and drive.
Yeah. Terrible.
And we do not do that
just
either.
A joke.
Yes,
we're drinking.
We have water. It's a very boring ride, except for the excitement of the conversation.
Okay, so
and the excitement of Jason's driving, which is somewhat questionable.
We're doing a disservice here because I had an important question, which was the not to me, but to whoever's listening to this.
Yes, whoever's still on.
Right.
Whoever has absolutely nothing else to do.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, who's calling now? The people we're supposed to be seeing, probably.
No, it's not. You want to pause it for a second?
Yeah, I'm going to pause this. All right, so Jason answered the phone. It turned out to be his wife.
You want to say hi, sweetie?
Hello, crazy.
Which one's crazy? Wait, we're both crazy because Jason's crazy and I'm letting him drive.
Okay, double crazy.
Yes.
Crazy,
just for the record,
yeah.
The iPhone Maps app was really the problem because it was being ambiguous.
It was being ambiguous. Yes, ambiguous. So Jason.
Why didn't you Google Maps? Okay.
Well, we did what we thought was right. Doesn't always work out.
I think we're running out of batteries, just so you know.
Jason handed me the phone and said, "Are we supposed to be exiting here?" And I said, "I can't. I don't know. I'm not able to tell by the data in front of me." And then, sure enough, we weren't supposed to be. But anyway, what we're talking about on the podcast here is marketing and Jason's website and split testing and just some fun, semi-technical stuff. Do you have any questions or comments?
What Steve just said that I think is a really good idea, and I'm going to have to figure out how to implement this, is that we need to have my free offer be on the front page and be prominently featured on the front. Yeah, and then it
first thing that pops up.
It sounds like she's told you this before.
No.
Okay.
We've talked about other stuff.
Right.
It did have that sound. I told you the first thing.
What that means is that she actually knows it and didn't tell me. And then when I say, "Hey, can you help me with my website?" She says, "I don't know anything about your subject matter. I can't really help you." That's okay. That's
the safer approach.
That's so unfair.
Everyone's being misrepresented. There's a lot.
You haven't asked me to help you with your website much, to be honest.
No, I haven't. Not much. No. You did help me. The front page of my website, you did help me with.
Like a million years ago.
Well, and that was and then it hasn't changed
I know,
since then.
it's looking really shabby at this point.
Yeah, it is.
In 2016.
Yeah, it is. So I mean, so we're gonna refresh it.
Pop-up's done. Pop-up, let's do it.
What? Yeah, pop-ups.
Well,
I don't.
Mainly not the pop-up part of it is unnecessary, but definitely the
just the
email opt-in that
prominent
that clearly shows a free offer so that people will be interested in the site. That's what Steve is suggesting. And so we are talking to an audience, though, somewhat. So, I mean, we think, is there an audience?
Good 5 or 6 people are going to hear this.
Yeah, there may be as many as 6 people that hear this.
And we're 29 minutes into the podcast now, so that's probably slimmed down to like one person.
And we've gotten this really useful piece of information that on my website there should be a free offer on the front page.
Yes, we've covered a lot of ground in 29 minutes. Any other questions?
You have so many free offers. Maybe every single page should be a new free offer because you have so many different things that you give away.
That's an interesting idea. What if I just had on different pages different free offers?
You can do that.
But they all had an opt-in connected to them.
Yeah, you can do. I had that on different pages of my website. Different things that I'm offering.
Oh.
Different things that appeal to different people.
Right.
Yeah, different email lists. Yep.
Yeah, I'll have to see how I can design that particular one. But
That separates the email into, this person
Categories.
and that person. Yeah, exactly.
no, it's a good idea.
I like it. Good.
Any
questions or comments from the newcomers?
No, I think that might be the idea right there. Well, thanks for solving our problem.
Yeah.
Sorry to anyone who listened for 30 minutes just to get that one piece of information for us.
Well, she came in and saved the day, and now we
clearly
now we're ready to move on to the next podcast,
which will be about let's do some relationship coaching. just in theory.
In theory, yes.
Theoretical relationship coaching.
Yes. This should be interesting. Wait till I get out of the car, and then you guys can do that. I'll just leave the phone running. You can record it.
What would be your number one advice to anyone in a relationship? You've talked to, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of women privately in their 40s about relationships and how they've just gone into the toilet and they're very unhappy. So what would your relationship advice be?
Are you talking to me or
men
Steve?
Or women?
Me or Steve?
Yeah, you.
Me?
Oh.
My number one relationship advice would be, be conscious of the fact that the relationship that you're in can be something that you can still get joy from if you are willing to put in some work and to develop some communication strategies.
Oh man, that sounds so lame.
But it's true. But I mean, every woman that I talk to, that's honestly what I think. I think, why are you so badly wanting to get out of this relationship? Why don't you just work on it?
Chuck Berry says, "Keep the home fires burning." That's what he said when somebody asked how he'd been married so long.
Keep the home fire. Yeah,
Chuck Berry.
What would you talk to all those men that they complain about? Because you're an extraordinary man.
I would say if your wife is looking unhappy, if she's got a frown on her face or she's complaining about stuff that you're doing, get off your butt and change the stuff that you're doing so that your wife has a chance of being happy, because chances are she's not asking you for that much. I mean, these women, a lot of it is just like nothing. What?
Jason's getting angry now. The what?
The grass is not necessarily greener on the other side.
No, you can date Steve G. Jones if you want. He's available, but other than that,
then you'll see the grass is definitely not greener.
But there's only one of him, so that you.
God.
I wish we lived closer. We would totally set him up, wouldn't we?
Oh,
We're so naughty like that.
Yeah, well, maybe he will move closer. We aren't disclosing any other locations right now.
No, we're.
No, I thought that too. I showed it. He thought she looked. Well, I won't say that.
What? I don't even know who we're talking about.
The girl who's going to be in my commercial.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we're getting carried away.
Yeah, we're getting specific. We don't want to be too specific. But
I told you I would be trouble. I told you I'm trouble.
She's trouble. I mean, we're still in the podcast talking about website marketing part 2, and somehow we're talking about setting me up with Tiffany if I move near you guys. I've seen one picture of Tiffany one time. I don't think I'd be opposed to a
date,
dining with this lovely lady. Well, but
she's always just looking for someone to take her out to dinner.
Okay, then maybe I would be opposed to it.
Her slogan is "Feed me, pet me, feed me, pet me, tell me I'm beautiful."
Okay, well, I could.
Just feed her, pet her, tell her.
Are these all the same guy has to do that? Does that go back to what you were saying before? The same guy should be doing all this
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
I could,
full
You know,
circle.
Can I just get in on one of those parts and just make it a team
We've never,
effort?
I mean, yes,
You can date a few guys.
you have 2 other guys and fulfill the other roles. You have 2 other guys that can like sub for you.
Yeah, well, one can feed her. One can take her out to very fancy
Yeah.
restaurants and feed her. That won't be me. What are the other 2 things?
This isn't a
Hey,
podcast
she doesn't
anymore,
need
is it?
fancy. Don't you worry.
She does what?
No, she would feel
doesn't
uncomfortable
need
if you
fancy.
took her to someplace expensive.
I took Jason to McDonald's like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, you did.
He seemed to like that. Would Tiffany like McDonald's?
Are you eating carbs, my love?
No,
He's not.
We had lettuce.
good.
We had lettuce.
Yeah.
wrapped
Chicken, quote unquote chicken with lettuce wrapped around it.
It was very, very low carb friendly.
I am so proud of you.
Steve is eating
So
low
proud.
carb. Steve is on low carb as well.
Yeah, I got a dietitian and an exercise person. They just beat the crap out of me. So in a good way. So I'm on a restricted diet. I've lost close to 20 pounds in the last few months.
Really?
Yeah, I had a little belly going. I had to do something
Whoop,
about it. Whoop, whoop.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was with
Well,
child.
I can imagine going out. I can imagine going out with all those girls at those rich restaurants. You know, I'm sure that it would pack on the pounds, right?
That's pretty much what was happening. No, they bring you the bread beforehand, and I was
Sure,
eating
you
that.
start eating the bread. Yeah.
I was just. What's that?
And like, and what are you gonna say? No, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, can you take this away? No.
Well, now I do. Now
Yeah.
I do. Now I'm brainwashed in a good
Steve and I
way.
went to a restaurant the first night that I was in town, and they brought over the bread thing, and both of us were just like,
No,
push it away.
Exactly. Cannot have it.
right?
So we're
Totally.
being good with our bread.
I
Wow,
think
we're in
we've-
36
Good.
minutes now. We've now talked for 7 additional minutes about nothing related to the podcast, and I really have to hand it to whoever's still listening. They're just voyeurs. Whoever's listening is a voyeur. They're like, what are they gonna?
Crazy.
What can we learn about them?
What do you find to be the most engaging sort of like sign up for my newsletter sort of pop-up?
Well, you'll have to listen
Like,
to
what do you think is the most engaging
You need
kind
to-
of like,
you need
oh,
to
you've already
listen-
done this?
You
Sorry.
need to listen to the first part of this podcast, because basically what Steve said is that he writes it more than one way and tests it, and the one that gets the most responses is the one they go with. So they basically have
How do they test it?
there's a piece of software that you can just put onto your link into the site. It attaches to the index page of the site or something like that, and at least it does at this level of technology that we're at in 2016. Who knows what
Yes.
what future generations that treasure these recordings will be using, but basically half your list goes to one and half your list goes to the other. Not your list, but whatever chunk of your list that you're using, and then you measure the responses, and the one that's better that you use. So he does everything through testing.
Yes.
Well, I love that shit. You know. Oh, excuse me. I love tracking. I love seeing what works. I love having data to prove it. That's really the only way to go.
There you go. Yeah, numbers don't lie.
Easier to just, like,
You're
numbers
hired.
don't. Well,
Steve has like 5 full-time people working on this constantly, or more. So you're hired.
Wow.
You got 5 full-time jobs now.
No, Jason should just pay you the pay of 5 full-time people. Well qualified full-time people. He should give you that pay.
Oh gosh.
I agree. But you guys probably split everything 50-50 as husband and wife anyway.
I mean, no, it's like 90-10. She gets 90% of the money.
Right.
Well, yeah, the wife.
mean,
I mean, that's
obviously.
yeah. What was I thinking? It's been a while since I've been married. It's been like 20 years, so I forgot the deals.
Well, and you know, there are a lot of children, so really most of it goes to them.
Yeah, Jason said you have like 10 kids now.
They outnumber us, so they
Oh,
need to,
yeah,
like,
that's
take up
true.
more square footage than we do. You know, that takes up more square footage. Their
the
bodies,
island.
their activities. So So they really outnumber us in every way, and they eat a lot more.
Oh boy. Well, hopefully with this new money coming in from the new ideas that I'm giving Jason, you'll be able to feed them.
We're gonna be
better.
We're gonna be
More carbs.
We're gonna be the next Steve G. Jones. He said I can take all his titles.
Yeah, you can just
and
rip them all off.
And his whole design, he's got these multiple levels for his recordings. He said I'm totally free to use all those concepts if I want to. Then he wouldn't sue me.
I'm not surprised.
Steve's like, erase. I never said anything.
Didn't happen. No, what I'm going to do is let you make money off it. Then I'm going to come in with the attorney and say,
oh, right.
Yeah,
100% goes
need
through.
our pot here. Exactly. I'm going to make it like your wife. It'll be like 90 for me, 10 for you. Any other
and then we'll just keep sending you videos for children going, oh, Uncle Steve.
sending me pictures like
of our starving
like
children.
I'm supporting them, yes, for 60 cents a day. I can support a Nukem.
Whoa, look at that. Oh man, it's so intense to look at all these houses up in the hills here. It's like
little boxes.
Giant mega mansions on the hilltop.
I always worry they're going to slide off because
for
they
sure.
do. Well, I guess we're going to wrap this podcast up. This marketing part 2 podcast, how to improve your website. Any closing any closing remarks from either of you?
Well, I really want to thank you.
Oh,
Yes?
thank you.
Oh, thank you. I think that was for you.
I did have a question though. I did actually think of one more question.
Oh,
Is that
yes,
okay?
certainly. Yeah, sure.
With
We might as well
that,
do something that has to do with what we're talking about. Why not?
I know. What are your thoughts about email marketing? Like once you have them on your list, like how often, or do you just like test the hell out of that and just tweak it as you go, or do you kind of have a general rule of thumb?
Yeah, we
Of
tested
how
it.
often you email?
Absolutely. The correct answer is every day. We tested
Every
it.
day.
Yeah, we
Okay.
attempted to drop it down to like every other day and once a week, and the money just dropped down. So ultimately, you're running a business. I mean, you guys are very aware of that with having 3 kids and so forth. So bills and things, and this is your source of income. So you really need to be money conscious about it and do what produces the most money. So we find that answer comes from every day. Now realize if someone is bothered by that, there are options on my email list where they can go to once a week. So those are the 2 options. They're once a day, and if they don't like that, they can go to once a week. They can do that by
How
themselves.
do you do that? How do you have the option to only be once a week? How do they have?
We had to pay for special programming within our email server to do that, for the company to do that. They charged us a bunch of money to build that in, but can be built in. I think some email servers probably offer that anyway.
Okay.
When I say email servers, I mean lists. That plunk is our turning directions. I'm just saying that for the podcast listeners.
So every email has the option of tweaking their subscription?
Yes, they
Is that what
can.
you're saying?
Yeah, they can go to once a week if they want. Yep, but you need to email them every day. Initially, do we need to wrap that up?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to wrap this up because Jason needs the. Well, good. Start doing it. Email them every day. I got to wrap this up so Jason can have control of the Bluetooth and listen to the directions. That's what that boom boom is.
Thank you, Steve.
Oh, my
Thank
pleasure.
You, Steve. Thank you so much.
My
it was
pleasure.
Really great talking with you guys.
Great talking
guys
with
are a
you.
riot.
Love you, sweetheart.
Hey, we're having fun.
We'll see you.
Hey,
I'll
love
talk to you
you.
soon.
All right.
Okay, bye. Have fun.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. And to all our podcast listeners, we're wrapping up the call, and we'll talk to you next time.
You are listening to an interview with clinical hypnotherapist Dr. Steve G. Jones. For a free hypnosis download, please visit stevegjones.com.